We live in a world that's wide awake, but deeply asleep. Hyper-connected but disconnected. Surrounded by noise, but drowning in silence. Welcome to modern society, where numbness isn't a symptom, it's a lifestyle. Before we jump into this powerful video, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. Every bit of support helps this video reach more people who need it. We're not just making videos, we're building something real, something that speaks to the heart. Your like, your comment, your subscription, it all matters. So, lock in, show love, and let's get into this video. Let me say something that might hurt, but it needs to be said. We've gotten too good at being unbothered, too skilled at not caring, too proud of how little we feel. It's almost a badge of honor now. To feel nothing, to move through life untouched, to shrug at injustice, to laugh through pain, to ghost the world when things get too real. But behind that numbness is exhaustion, is fear, is grief, is a soul that's screaming beneath the surface, but can't remember how to cry out. This isn't a normal video. This is a mirror to help you see what modern life has done to our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. We wake up and scroll before we speak. We eat while watching 10-second videos. We like people's pain but never check on them. We confuse attention with intimacy, and we call it life. But this isn't life. This is overstimulation and emotional starvation. We feel everything and nothing all at once. You can watch someone die on your screen, feel sad for 5 seconds, and then laugh at a meme 5 seconds later. That's not because you're heartless. It's because you're numb. Not because you chose to be, but because you've been conditioned to be. Let's break this down. Modern society was built for profit, not peace. For stimulation, not stillness. For consumption, not connection. And if you're always consuming, you're never digesting. You're never feeling. You're never pausing long enough to ask, how do I actually feel right now? We live in a dopamine-driven culture, where silence is awkward, where boredom is feared, where you're taught to avoid discomfort at all costs. But when you avoid discomfort, you avoid healing, and that's how numbness becomes normal. You might think you're fine, but listen to this list. You can't remember the last time you felt deep joy or deep sorrow. You laugh, but it's hollow. You sleep, but don't feel rested. You hang out with people, but feel alone. You go through your routine, but none of it feels real. You keep yourself busy, not because you're productive, but because you're afraid of what you'll feel if you stop. You feel detached from your body. You don't cry. You don't pause. You don't pray. And if you do, it feels mechanical. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're just numb. Here's the truth nobody talks about. We didn't choose to be numb because we're lazy or careless. We became numb because we were overwhelmed. Somewhere along the way, feeling got too risky. You trusted someone and got hurt. You gave your heart and it got crushed. You showed emotion and got called too sensitive. You felt deeply and no one met you there. So you shut it down. Not because you're cold, but because you were trying to survive. Numbness is protection, but protection, when worn too long, becomes a prison. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Technology isn't evil, but the way we use it is numbing our souls. Infinite scroll has replaced silent reflection. Notifications have replaced real connection. Filters have replaced vulnerability. Group chats have replaced deep one-on-one talks. Clicks replace touch. Performance replace presence. We're more available than ever, and more unreachable than we've ever been. We don't even know how to sit in stillness anymore, because stillness forces us to feel, and feeling feels too foreign now. God gave you emotions for a reason. They're not liabilities, they're not distractions, they're not flaws, they're signals, they're sacred. They're how the spirit speaks through the body. Sadness tells you something needs to be mourned. Anger tells you something feels violated. Joy tells you something is aligned. Peace tells you God is near. But if you mute all of that, you also mute God's whisper. Numbness isn't spiritual strength. It's spiritual disconnection. And the longer you stay in it, the farther you drift from your own soul. So, how do you start feeling again? You don't rush it. You don't force it. You create space for it. Here's what I've learned. 1. Turn down the noise. Literally. Unplug. 2. Be still, even when it's uncomfortable. 3. Let yourself cry, without explanation. 4. Journal daily, and don't censor it. 5. Move your body. Not for aesthetics, but for awareness. 6. Pray honestly, not formally, just be real with God. 7. Rest deeply, not just physically, but emotionally. 8. Reconnect with nature. It reminds your soul what's real. The goal isn't to feel good, it's to feel again. If you stay numb, here's what happens. You settle in relationships that don't nourish you. You chase things that never fulfill you. You ignore pain until it becomes disease. You miss out on moments that were meant to move you. You confuse peace with emptiness. You stop hearing God, not because He's not speaking, but because your heart's too muted to recognize His voice. Staying numb may feel easier, but the cost is your aliveness. And God didn't make you to exist. He made you to live. Let me tell you this. You're not too far gone. You're not broken beyond repair. You're not too numb to come back to life. That spark in you, even if it's small, is still there. And God is still reaching for you. You don't have to feel everything at once. Just take one breath, one pause, one honest prayer. Let your spirit catch up to your schedule. Let your body speak what your mouth won't. Let God in, not just into your thoughts, but into your feelings. Because the way back to yourself is through your heart. The human soul was not built for constant stimulation, but that's what we're living in. A non-stop stream of noise, images, alerts, pressure, and motion. And the truth is, we're drowning in it. We've forgotten what silence feels like. We've forgotten how to be still, and it's starting to cost us. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Let's name the feeling we've been carrying. You wake up, phone. You eat, screen. You work, noise. You relax, scroll. You lay down, mind racing. You fall asleep, barely. And even in the quiet, it's not really quiet. Because your mind is still replaying conversations, headlines, comments, ads, decisions, regrets, expectations, and everything in between. We've normalized chaos. We've made overload the default. We're overstimulated and undernourished. In this video, we're going to talk about what overstimulation is really doing to you, why you can't focus, feel, or breathe, and how to come back to your stillness. Let's go there. This didn't happen overnight. Little by little, we traded silence for stimulation. And not just the obvious kind, like TikTok or YouTube. I'm talking about mental clutter. Constant comparison, endlessly checking notifications, multitasking even when we're doing nothing, scrolling between thoughts without ever fully landing on one. We've trained our minds to expect input all the time. And now stillness feels awkward. Now rest feels lazy. Now boredom feels like failure. But your spirit was never designed for constant input. It was designed to be present. Let's talk about the symptoms, because you might think you're just burnt out or tired. But really, you're overstimulated. Here's what it looks like. You can't finish one task without starting another. You scroll for hours but feel more drained than when you started. You crave silence but feel anxious when it finally comes. You're easily irritated but you don't know why. You're physically exhausted but mentally wired. You keep reaching for more but nothing is satisfying. That's not normal. That's not peace. That's a soul suffocating under too much noise. And the most dangerous part, you get used to it. You start calling dysfunction your personality. You start believing that chaos is just who you are. But you weren't born with a racing mind. It was trained by a world that profits off your attention. Let's be real. We're not just overstimulated. We're addicted to it. We're addicted to the next thing. The next scroll, the next sound, the next laugh, the next hit of dopamine. And like any addiction, it numbs us. It short-circuits our ability to feel deeply, to rest fully, to think clearly, to connect meaningfully. You ever wonder why prayer feels hard now? Why reading a book feels like a chore? Why silence feels like pressure? It's because our brains are chasing hits, not depth. We're stuck in a feedback loop of cheap highs that never lead to real peace. We don't just lose our peace, we lose each other. Because overstimulation makes us distracted. and distracted people can't connect. We can't have deep conversations because our attention's split. We don't sit and listen. We multitask, half hear, and nod. We're present physically, but absent spiritually. And people feel that. You can't fake presence. Your child feels it. Your partner feels it. Your friends feel it. God feels it. We're available, but not accessible. We're online, but not in tune. And the more overstimulated we become, the more emotionally unavailable we get. Let's talk about what this does to your relationship with God. Because if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll distract you. He'll keep you stimulated enough to never seek stillness. He'll keep you busy enough to never hear God's whisper. He'll keep your mind racing, because a racing mind rarely rests in truth. But what did God say? Be still and know that I am God. Not be productive, not be busy. Be still. Stillness is where your power gets restored. Stillness is where your clarity comes from. Stillness is where you reconnect with your spirit and remember who you are. The enemy knows that. That's why he keeps your notifications loud and your spirit quiet. This level of stimulation is expensive, and I'm not talking money. I'm talking energy, focus, presence, sanity. We are burnt out on content. We are starving for depth. You can consume 100 videos in a day and still feel empty. You can read 1,000 captions and still feel unseen. You can hear 1,000,000 voices and never hear God's, because your soul doesn't run on stimulation. It runs on stillness, alignment, truth, presence, peace. And the more noise you consume, the more you forget your own voice. So what do? How do we quiet the noise when the world keeps getting louder? You start by choosing silence again. Here's how you begin. 1. Digital detox moments. Put the phone down on purpose, even for 10 minutes. 2. Create no input zones. First hour of your day, last hour of your night. No screens, no scrolling. 3. Reclaim boredom. Let your mind be still. It's not wasted time. It's healing. 4. Breathe deeply, literally. Pause and take 10 slow conscious breaths. 5. Ask yourself, what am I trying not to feel? Because overstimulation is often a cover-up for unprocessed emotions. 6. Invite God into the quiet. Say, Lord, help me hear you beneath all this noise. 7. Be okay with doing less. You don't need to consume every moment. You need to be present in it. This world won't slow down for you. You have to choose peace. You have to protect your mind. You have to guard your attention like it's your life, because spiritually, it is. Peace isn't a personality trait, it's a practice. Stillness isn't weakness, it's warfare. And you don't have to wait until burnout to choose peace. You can choose it right now. One breath at a time, 1 hour of silence at a time, one boundary at a time. Let me leave you with this. You are not a machine. You were not created to be on all the time. You were not built for constant stimulation. You were created for depth, peace, presence, truth, God. And none of those live in chaos. So slow down. Turn the volume down on the world and up on your soul, because your peace is trying to speak. But it can't compete with everything else you're consuming. Give it space, give it stillness, give it you. This is seeing unlimited greatness. And this is your reminder. The world will always offer you noise. But God offers you rest, true rest. The kind that doesn't come from a screen, or a scroll, or a stimulant, but from silence, surrender, and stillness. The question is, are you willing to hear it? If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can, for you and for the world around us.